There's some sort of basic human instinct related to motorcycles. That sensation of power and sound and speed. I was just days away from accomplishing something no Canadian had ever done before. And I had to ask myself, how far am I willing to go to achieve what I had always dreamed of? Obviously, the Dakar for me was a pretty big. It was kind of the pinnacle of what I got to do in motorcycling.
So this is it?
Yeah, that's it there. In the 60s, the Japanese bikes came to North America. In the little town we lived in, tons of high school kids had these little Honda 50s. That's where I saw the little dirt bike like that and said, I want to do that. I was kind of a kid that moved around a lot. I rode my bicycle all the time, and we used to put hockey cards in the spokes and listen to that noise and pretend that you're riding a bike and ride it like you're riding a motorcycle, like I saw people doing. I left home very early in life, had to get away and make my own decisions. Motorcycles represented the freedom you get to be able to just go anywhere. That was the first steps in becoming free. Pretty soon I made motorcycling my way of life and was racing all over the world. I was always searching for the next big adventure. And I'd go to any length to find it.
Dernier chapitre de l'actualité sportive. Une grande aventure a commencé ce matin pour 176 pilotes d'auto et de moto qui ont quitté Paris pour Dakar, d'un rallye qui leur fera traverser l'Algérie, le Mali, le Niger et le Sénégal.
A buddy of mine from high school and I were racing in Europe, motocross, and we met guys who were preparing for the Dakar in 1980.
Ce très long parcours, regardez-le.
It started back in 78, and it's an off-road motorsports event that goes approximately 10,000 kilometers from Paris to Dakar, Senegal. I was reading about it in the French magazines. It just became the Mount Everest of motorcycling, basically. In the early days, it was really the Wild West. There was very little organization.
Nous sommes rentrés dans l'aventure, nous sommes en plein dans l'aventure, nous sommes en plein dans le désert.
There were great distances, huge sand dunes, rocks. The reputation of it being the most difficult, toughest rally to finish is based on so many people coming back not finishing or even, never being able to continue racing or even dying. One of the major challenges is to not make mistakes, not wear yourself out, not get stuck, not crash. You have to get to that bivouac and you have to get to the start line the next day or you're out. That's why it's considered the toughest event, because it's not easy. I had a lot of people along the way tell me that I was insane or crazy. But deep down, I always knew this was something I had to do.
Paris-Dakar 2001, the first sporting event of the year, kicking off before sunrise on New Year's Day underneath the Eiffel Tower.
In my career, I started late. I rode the Dakar at 46 years old, and that is not a spring chicken.
A Canadian angle, Lawrence hacking alongside me. How was that relatively short stage for you?
Well, it was a bit of a rest, 230 Ks of off-road riding. It was actually quite a bit of fun.
This here's the road book from the Dakar Rally in 2001. You get one of these every day. and you'd have to do this. What this button does here is it electronically moves that so that you can ride along and watch the odometers and then watch the distance. And there's symbols that you have to understand, and that's how you navigate the Dakar Rally. Pretty simple to explain and very difficult to do. The Dakar is really a metaphor for life. It's like compressing a lifetime of experience into 3 weeks of anything can happen. You just don't know what's ahead of you. It's how you deal with it. The first week of the race certainly had its challenges, but we hadn't crashed out like so many of the other competitors. 17 out of 21. There's 3 big days left. Dakar is like a few days down the road. In the middle of nowhere, I just overworked the electrical system and it shorted the stator. I was all alone, highly emotional and scared a little bit. I thought it was over, and of course I'd spent my whole life looking forward to finishing this rally, and I was so close to the end. The disappointment of not finishing was a powerful force to keep going. It's far easier to put up with 3 weeks of hardship than a lifetime of disappointment. There was a guy that was coming up behind me. He lives in Africa. He knew the lay of the land. He showed up and I said, I tried everything, it won't run, no spark. He said, well, okay, I can send a truck back to pick you up. I waited for a while, and sure enough, a truck came out of the dust and saved the day, and it was just pure luck or karma or something like that. And we loaded it up and got it out of there and got to the bivouac that night. I got back on the road and I kept going. Three days later, I became the first Canadian to ever cross the finish line at the Dakar Rally.
Very, very happy to be here. You, Toby, thank you very much for the t-shirts and the emotional support too. It was very, very helpful. And of course, yeah, I'm over the moon as far as being here in Dakar.
You do that, and I'll spin this. The Dakar, for me, it really is a metaphor for the life I've lived. All the skills and abilities that I've needed to improvise and persevere through life applied to finishing that race. Remember when you're lying in bed thinking about what you did in life, those things that you got to do, even if they were tough and hard and you were suffering and crying and you risked life and limb, still you have some fantastic memories that other people don't have. Those memories are going to be with you forever.